December 22nd, 1987. A heavily redacted document from Area 51 was leaked to the public. It contained details of a secret CIA operation known only as Project Splice. Within the document were notes that described an undercover lab that was used for what only can be assumed is cloning technology. Politicians, athletes, musicians, all types of celebrities were created in this laboratory. In today's documentary, we'll dive deep into a specific experiment that took place between the years 2005 and 6. We call it the 740 Clone Conspiracy. Let's begin. Case number 1. File name, The Barbershop. By combining the DNAs of both Juan Guzman and Cesar Smith, they were able to create one of the most accurate clones to this day. The nose and eyes of Cesar Smith, the mouth and chin of Juan Guzman, the haircut, even made specifically by this guy's uncle just like Cesar. They wanted to get the most accurate results. Even the goatee to represent Juan Guzman. Everything too accurate. Honestly, I'm amazed at this to this day. Case number 2. File name, The Chiefer. One of, if not the, most successful cloning operations of the modern era. This clone looks so much like Luciano that you wouldn't even be able to tell that this is actually a black man. Reports say that after the document leaked, Luciano wasn't even mad that they cloned him. He was just upset that they made him black. The goatee, the haircut, the blunt in his mouth, this is an all-around incredible performance by that laboratory. I have to give them credit. I'm amazed. Case number 3. File name, The Selfie. The most unique clone that we will discuss in this documentary. This blends the DNA of 2021 Cesar Smith and King Sosa. Such an accurate representation of both. The frizzy hair of 2021 Cesar, the stubble 5 o'clock shadow of King Sosa, the nose, the glasses that Cesar would wear even though they were ugly as fuck and they didn't fit on his face the right way. All of it. This right here is greatness. If you told me that a combination of those two DNAs would create a man that looks Indian, black, and Hispanic all at once, I would probably believe you. The experiments extend past the core members of 740. Even the affiliates fall victim. Case number 4. File name, The Climb. This is a clone of Isaiah Gonzalez. Everything down to the way that he dresses, to that mustache, to his nose, to the way he looks up at the camera whenever you film him like he wants to murder you. Everything, it's all accurate. Isaiah loves that beanie, hoodie, flannel combo. He's worn it so many times. If I saw this man on the street, I would go up to him as if he were my own friend. But this is not the Isaiah that I know. This is a clone. Case number 5. File name, Eyes Don't Lie. This is another clone that contains no other DNA, simply a recreation attempt. And if I must say so myself, this is an incredible recreation. If you can't tell off the first glance, this is of course a Cesar Smith clone. They gave him a tiny hint of Sigma male, not in his DNA, just in his programming. If you see the way that he's looking at the camera, that side eye, very reminiscent of Sigma male, aka Muhammad. This looks like Cesar if he never started popping Xans in middle school. This could be an alternate dimension Cesar. This really looks like him if he just made different life decisions. Maybe a little bit of, texture in his hair that we don't got with the current Cesar, but other than that, this is just, I'm amazed, Everything, the eyes, the nose, man. The beard lineup. Like, I would have thought that Cesar's uncle really cut this guy's hair. This is just too accurate. Case number 6. File name, Snowpiercer. Back to the topic of 740 associates. Ladies and gentlemen, I truly thought that this was a picture of Jordan. I was looking through the files and I come across this and I'm confused. I'm like, how is this a clone? This is just a picture of Jordan. But no, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the miracle work of the sweet science. From the cheekbones, the eyes, the piercings, the hair. This looks exactly like how his hair looked after he cut it senior year. And of course, the mustache, his signature look. perfectly recreated with this clone. Case number 7. File name, The Lineup. In a failed experiment to recreate Caesar Smith, they accidentally extracted his own brother's DNA, creating this recreation of Elijah Smith. I have to say it's pretty accurate. From the haircut, the very sharp eyebrows, the jawline, the mustache, the eyes. This looks like a post that Luis would make after cutting Elijah's hair. I wouldn't think for a second that this was a clone. Case number 8. File name, The Gym Rat. Unfortunately, we have no picture of this man's face, but we do have his upper body, and I will say, this looks extremely similar to Juan Guzman when he's shirtless. From the overly grown body hair, the large dark nipples, the same exact skin tone. I mean, he does look a little bit slimmer than Juan, but this might be that cut he's always been talking about for all these years. I do feel bad for these clones. You know, they feel insecure about themselves. They have to get on these conference calls with Fit Fearless, and they don't even realize you're a clone, all right? It's not your fault that you were created with Juan Guzman's body. Just stay off the TikTok lives, man. Speaking of TikTok, let's get into our next clone. File name, The Blizzard. The only video evidence that we have of a clone on this list. In the video on screen, you can clearly see an Alex clone doing a TikTok dance in the snow. I'll even put it in slow motion. So you can observe the clone technology better. I think that Alex might be hiding some sort of secret dancing talent that he's never demonstrated, but who knows? Case number 10. File name, The Camp Hill Demon. Originally, scientists theorized that this was a real picture of Ian, but with an ugly Snapchat filter over it. They later on came to a conclusion that this guy's just fucking ugly. Some called it a failed experiment, but many of them applauded the accuracy of the hair follicles. To get the identical haircut is something that doesn't always work with the clone. You might get facial features, but never the hair. It seems that this was the exact opposite case. They did get the racially ambiguous part correct. You can't tell if this guy's Asian or Hispanic, similar to how you can't tell if Ian is white or Hispanic, so I'll give them credit to that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever come across a clone of somebody that you know, or even a clone of yourself, don't hesitate to report it to the ACA, the Anti-Clone Agency. Remember to stay safe, and don't trust everybody that you see on the street, or on the internet, or in your own house, or yourself. You might be a clone, you don't even know it. I might be a clone, actually. Yeah, it's a lot to consider. I'm gonna go now. Goodbye.